Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Jake Sick with Jacob Elyachar Podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Elyachar, the chief content producer and writer of jakesick.com, a pop culture entertainment news website. I'm very thrilled because we got our very first international guest of 2021. He is a classical pop and theater performer. He's a Spotify verified artist. He has over 3,000 Facebook fans and 17,000 Twitter followers. Please help me welcome Jordan Adams.
Hi, Jacob. Thank you very much. It's so great to be here with you. Brilliant.
Thank you so much for taking time on your schedule to talk with me. So, guys, Jordan is in the UK. It's as of we're recording this, they're in the middle of third lockdown. So, Jordan, before we get started with anything, how are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely fine. I'm very fortunate. We are in our third lockdown, and the lockdown here is pretty tough. We're restricted on very many levels. Obviously, key workers can go out there and work, and that people are encouraged to work from home. There's a lot of places that have been closed, including theatres, and theatres have been closed for a long time. Performance venues. But apart from that, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. Hopefully, there's going to be an end to this pretty soon.
All right, guys. Be a little later on this conversation, I'll talk about what else Jordan's been up to besides working. But it's a very fascinating story. But we got to start with the very beginning. So, when did you get interested in performing, and how did that passion evolve into desire to pursue a career in the entertainment industry?
Okay, so this has been a passion of mine from when I was a child, and I always felt that it was something that I wanted to do. I wanted to perform. I wanted to write music. I wanted to be involved in the entertainment. And I was told that I wasn't good enough at the age of 12, believe it or not. That kind of squashed those dreams completely. So it was this overwhelming urge to be able to perform, and people that perform will understand that. If it's in you, it's in you. There's nothing you can do. You're born with it. You have to do something with it. And so a little bit later on in life, I was encouraged to start doing some musical theatre performances, and I was very lucky that I fell into a situation, and I was around about 40 years old when this happened, and I fell into a situation where I was asked to perform, and the response was absolutely phenomenal, and so I continued to do that, and I've played many lead roles in the Lichfield Garrick Theatre, which is local to here, and I think it kind of progressed from there, because once I set foot on the stage and once I'd realized how much I enjoyed being part of that, being part of creating something that is going to bring joy to the audience, I suppose, then I just got the bug for it. I then went and I actually auditioned for Open Mic UK, which is a huge competition in the UK. About 10,000 people would apply for that. And I was very fortunate to come in the top 10, singing pop classical, which is really unusual for open mic competitions, because a lot of it is acoustic guitar, groups, bands. So for someone to go, like myself, to go in and be singing The Impossible Dream, to get to that final was an achievement itself. So I've kind of condensed everything, but this is something that's been going on since I was 12 years old. And I think overcoming the fact that I was told that I couldn't perform has kind of spurred me on and pushed me to kind of prove people wrong.
I'm glad that you are not taking no for an answer. And it's been a lot. A lot of people, including myself, I've been told no to work with different people, interview different celebrities. But still, 10 years strong. Jake Sick is celebrating 10 years this year. So I feel you.
It's really important, and you know what I think as well, and I talk about this a lot through my social media. Believing in yourself, believing in what you can achieve, anything that you set your mind to. I absolutely truly believe that if you want to do something, then the world's there for you to do it. The audience is there.
I agree with you on that. And speaking of audiences, because a lot of my guests I've had on my podcast and over the years that I speak with are had their star making programs from America's Got Talent and Britain's Got Talent, from Idol, from The Voice UK, from X Factor. So, have you thought about pursuing this route, or is it? Did you decide no, and why?
Do you know what? I haven't decided no.
Really?
But no, I think that this journey has been it. I've evolved and I've learned a lot through this process, and I think that as an artist, as a songwriter, as a performer, um, that's that's helped me quite a lot to realize a lot more about myself, a lot more where I sit within the music industry, within performing. And I think probably at first, when I first started, I wasn't really quite sure where I did fit. And absolutely, the things like Britain's Got Talent, America's Got Talent, X Factor, brilliant, absolutely brilliant platforms there for performers and showcasing new performers and putting people on that platform that takes them to the next level. And it's a brilliant thing, and I admire anybody that would do that. uh, I think that if the opportunity came my way, and I'm not going to say no. It's one of those kind of things, is watch this space, because you never know what's going to happen.
We will. And besides, we've had a lot of classical performers have done a lot, and classical crossover has done a lot of good well. I can think of my friends Calabro.
Yeah,
I think of Susan Boyle, my
yeah,
friend Chris Mann, who conquered The Voice, and then my friend Brandon James and Forte and Barbara Badia. They've all had some really good. They all started their launched their platforms on a Got Talent franchise, and they've or The Voice, and they produced really good results.
yeah. Absolutely. And I think, like I said, this for me it's a journey. And I've got a great fan base local to me, and I've been very fortunate to perform in some of the local theatres around here, my own shows. So I get a huge amount of satisfaction around doing that, and putting on these shows for people. So I suppose to take it to that next level and go to an even bigger stage, and go to a national stage, even more so an international stage, then absolutely. But you're right. There's some amazing talent that has come through those shows, particularly when it comes to the classical crossover, pop classical, because it's a genre that sits um, obviously right between the two, the pop and this classical. And sometimes I think that it's really underestimated, as from a genre point of view, the kind of crossover music, fantastic kind of songs that you can get from that. It's just unbelievable. I know that Collabro, they've done incredibly well in crossing over some songs that you would never even imagine that could be crossed over. So hat goes off to everybody. It's an incredible, you never know, I might be there one day with those guys.
I agree. I definitely see you there with them, with Jai McDowell, and all those incredible other performers as well.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. I know you talked about the journey of going from local, but what are some of the challenges that you face not breaking out of the United Kingdom market, but also the international market, and how have you overcome those obstacles?
You know what? I think the biggest obstacle for me at the moment is the fact that we're in this situation, internationally, when it comes to a lockdown. Because, like I've said before, I've been fortunate that I could been able to perform on many stages, and all of a sudden, when your audience is taken away from you, when your venues are taken away from you, and you can't do that, what was used as a means for me reaching out to people through social media and through other forms of marketing, all of a sudden I've realized that I'm having to rely on that really, really heavily, because everything else has been taken away from me. So I think the biggest challenge now for me is that transition from being on the stage and showcasing what I can do and performing like that, to actually now um, converting that over digitally through the form of through social media, through YouTube, through Twitter, through all the digital media platforms, so that I can continue to show people what I'm doing, And of course, then that again is meaning that I'm reaching people on an international basis, which is great, because it's an audience that is forever expanding. And the response that I've had from people from all around the world, it's been absolutely magnificent. And if it wasn't for those guys, then I wouldn't be still doing what I'm doing.
And that's incredible. And I'm so glad to be able to find you. Well, I'm so glad you were able to find, because guys, I found Jordan's through a YouTube video, and I really love it. Was actually This Is the Moment that I really found in, and also your song How the Story Ends. But we'll talk about How the Story Ends later, because I want to bring up the fact that Jordan, before I talk with all my guests, we have a pre-show conversation, and Jordan was talking to me about about the last 72 hours of his life. And while a lot of performers are hard to work at other jobs, he's also a senior residential care worker.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And I'm again very, very fortunate that I've been able to support myself and support others while we're going through the troubled times that we're going through at the moment. When from a performance point of view, when you can't do that anymore, where do you go? What do you do? How do you keep yourself sane? How do you keep yourself motivated? And what can you do? And so for me, it was about taking the passion that I got for bringing joy to people through a performance and taking it to children to help inspire children, mentor children, and I work with children that have come from very vulnerable backgrounds, so they need that support, particularly in these times. And so I had an opportunity to be able to get involved with that, and that kind of has really helped me out, because it's meant that I've transitioned, while I can't perform, while I can't go on a stage, to be able to take my skills and teach them somewhere else. Learn to love yourself, believe in yourself, stay strong, and anything that you want to do, you can absolutely achieve. And that's what these children are learning.
On behalf of their audience, thank you so much.
You're more than welcome. You know what? It comes. I think I put. I tweeted out. I put something on social media about children being our future, and the response that I got from that was phenomenal. And I take a lot of pride in what I do, and I think it will be one of those experiences that I will never forget for the rest of my life. And I'm sure that the people that I've worked with will think exactly the same.
Awesome. And while we're on the subject of kids and giving back, I want to talk to you about How This Story Ends, which is your recent single.
Yes.
And can you describe the song to my audience? And then also you selected for your charity, the proceeds of that single will go to the National Society of Prevention and Cruelty of Children. That is a United Kingdom-based charity, everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, this came about because what I wanted to do was fuse my passion for music with being a senior residential care worker, and what can I do? So I thought, well, I want to create something that is going to be. If I explain how this story ends, is it's about a prince that meets his princess, and it's very much fairy tale kind of evoked, and Disney movies and all that kind of thing. Everything that because this was released just before Christmas, so everything actually around Christmas time that we kind of were missing really here in the UK, and it's a song that was written to kind of bring families together, I suppose. So it's a song that is universal, I suppose, in its style and the way that it's written, because everybody can relate to it with it having that fairy tale aspect. So I decided to release that to raise money for the NSPCC, and the reason that I did that was because the NSPCC plays a huge part of within the role that I play as a residential care worker, because we're always promoting the good work that the NSPCC does. And I've worked with many children, and sometimes children are with us for a short time, sometimes children are with us for a longer lengths of time, and it's important that they know what the NSPCC can do to support them moving forward.
And guys, it's an incredible song. You guys have to check it out.
Thank you.
All righty. So I want to talk to you about, you're also on Spotify, and you're a Spotify verified artist. I think for every recording artist, that once you hear a verify on Spotify, there's like a level saying, okay, I can do this.
Oh, absolutely. And, Spotify is something that, again, this is relatively, it's very exciting, I should say. It's relatively new and exciting at the same time, because, again, using Spotify as a form of reaching out to people and literally getting your music heard all over the world is amazing. And being verified is amazing. And having that platform now, there's so much more music that I've got to be able to put out there for people to hear. And I'm talking about, serious classical crossover music, as well as original music, covers. And of course, I'll be continue to write more new songs that will be going out there on this huge musical digital platform that we can just literally at the click of a button have access to, which is just amazing.
That's incredible. And also, I want to talk to you about your most streamed song on there right now. As of recording, it is Hold On. So could you share the story of the song to my audience?
Okay, Hold On. Hold On is I love Hold On. For me, this is a song that has a universal meaning that actually anybody that listens to it is going, oh, that's my life. I can relate to that. It's really comforting for me. It's helping me get through some troubled times. And Hold On was written because, again, it was all about believing in yourself, holding on to your dreams. And if you do that and stay focused, then you can achieve anything. And it was very much written around my life, really, because when I was told that I couldn't achieve something, what I ultimately wanted to do was go out and achieve it. And that's where the song Hold On came from.
Awesome. I'm glad. Awesome, guys. Make sure you stream that song. So we got to start winding down this interview. So who are your favorite dream collaborators, singers, songwriters, and producers that you would like to work with in the future? And how would they enhance your sound, Jordan?
I would love, absolutely, to work with Josh Groban above and beyond anything else. I think he's a fantastic songwriter. I think he just encompasses everything that I aspire to be here in the UK. That's what he is. That, for me, is the way that the style of music, the way that he crosses over original, that it crosses over songs that are out there and creates new material. It's just amazing. He's done his version of Angels is incredible. His version of Impossible Dream is incredible.
I totally agree. I think I would love. Did Robbie Williams react to any of Angels when he heard that?
Oh, I don't know, actually. I don't know. I'm just literally, I play on repeat all the time, that particular song, but I would imagine there's something out there where he has reacted to it.
I would love to see Josh and Robbie actually sing it together.
Yeah, that would be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. However, I'd like him to sing with me first.
Okay. We'll do that, Jordan. We'll do that. Awesome. We were talking on social. About social media. So you're on Facebook. You're on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. So what are some of your favorite? So what are your favorite platforms, and why do they stand out?
Okay, so I love Facebook. I probably am a little bit old school when it comes to Facebook, because I'm talking about my personal Facebook page. I have huge connection with lots and lots of people on there, so that's great. But I think for connecting instantly and reaching wide. Twitter for me is the platform that I use hands down, because it's so easy. You know, I can put videos up there. I can put how I'm feeling up there. I think people get a little bit more understanding of who you are when you use a platform like Twitter, because Instagram is all about putting a picture up and putting a picture up and putting a picture up. And Twitter isn't about that. And you can connect with people so easily and so quickly. So Twitter, if anybody wants to, can I let everybody know where I am when it comes
Go
to
ahead,
my?
go ahead.
Okay, so Twitter is at Jordan Adams. Facebook is Jordan Adams Music. My Instagram is Jordan Adams Official UK. And yeah, I think that's it. They're the main ones that I use. But I'd love you guys, anybody that's watching this, anybody that's listening, please come and join me there. And I do personally reply to all the messages that come my way.
Awesome, glad to hear that, Jordan. So a lot of my audience are also aspiring performers who are like wanting to take it to the next level when it comes to their career. So if you have the opportunity to meet with anyone who wants to work in theater, like after the pandemic, of course, after the pandemic, internationally, no matter if it's Broadway or West End, or also want to expand their work as a recording artist, what advice will you share with them?
I think the thing is, when it comes to aspiring performers and people that want to go out there and showcase their talent, it's all about being true to yourself, staying focused and having a clear path of achievement, because I think there are so many people out there that lose focus and they lose direction because they actually want to be brilliant and great at everything, but you need to find where you fit and where you feel comfortable as a performer, as a singer, and I think if you do that, then I think the opportunities will come your way. I think if people try to do too much too soon or expand too much of what they do, then that can become diluted and people lose focus. I think that I know where I sit now as a performer, and it took me a long time to establish exactly where that was. And I would hate to see other people in that same situation. I'm not a dancer, so I never do anything that involves dancing unless you want me to fall over. But I can do it. I can do the singing and I can do the acting. So I'm happy with that. So that's my advice to people. Stay true to yourself, follow your heart, do what you want to do. And actually, if you really, really stay focused on that, the opportunities will definitely come your way.
Wonderful advice. And also, where can my audience grab your music?
Okay, so you can grab my audience on grab my audience. Just so I'm not going to grab in any audience. No, that's not the right. That's not the right show.
We're not. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be 100 people going up and singing. Like I saw the 100 all together now. One of my favorite shows.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Oh, and yeah, I don't think everyone's going to be like jumping up at every song.
Right, I've got to get. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Okay, yes. No, not grabbing the audience. Where can they get my music? Okay, so my music's available on all digital download platforms. It's available on Spotify to stream. It is on Amazon Music to stream. It's on Apple Music. It's also available on iTunes and also on Amazon to download. So pretty much anyway, you can just Google Jordan Adams, and I'm kind of there.
Awesome. Now, guys, if you missed an episode of the Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar podcast, head to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or Spreaker. Just type in Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar, JacobElyachar, and you'll find lots of of previous episodes. Are you on social media? Because I'm on social media too. Head to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Just type in Jacob Elyachar, JacobElyachar. Now, just want to let you know, as mentioned before, Jake's Take, the blog that started all, is celebrating its 10th anniversary this year. So for more articles and interviews and even music reviews and recaps of America's Got Talent and in America's Got Talent Champions, The Masked Singer and The Masked Dancer, head to jakestake.com. Jordan, thank you so much for the incredible conversation, for the laughs, the smiles, and everything. I really enjoyed talking with you.
Jacob, thank you so much for having me on the show. It's been incredible to speak to you. Hopefully we can do this again soon and have a catch up. But yeah, it's been incredible. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
You're so welcome, guys. Thank you so much for listening. And if you're watching this, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, have a fantastic day, everybody.